not too far off.
Nope. I think that also a lot of people that I know who are scuba divers are also skydivers, and I never knew that the two were so, I guess, beloved by both groups, but they are.
Adventure seekers.
Yeah, I guess. BCD means buoyancy control device.
Megan, I hear your Cooper's particularly terrifying to people who come pick up computer cases.
Really?
Is Cooper a friendly scamp?
He sounds very terrifying. He is not very terrifying in person.
He's a pit bull, right?
Yeah, he is. He's a pit.
Aww.
Yeah, and so he sounds like he's the most terrifying thing in the world, but I think that all pit bulls do. But he's not.
Bless you.
Thank you. So it is 2:36 in the afternoon off of American Samoa, and we are continuing. We're on line 5 now of our pass as we continue to search this
Down there.
2 mile, which is square mile search area.
How many lines do we have in total?
20, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And Ed has just come back, and I am again entranced by his glowing water bottle cover.
I know, right?
That's a company in Hawaii called Hydro Flask, which is kind of hard to get. You can get them on Amazon. They're just rubber things that go in hydro skins. And they come in cool like camouflage, and there's a reggae swirl pattern one, but this one's glow in the dark. So
Yeah, and
here in the tropics, just being outside for a moment.
Yeah, you were
and
out there
it's
for
just-
2 seconds.
Yeah. Makes it easy to find.
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
it's perfect for the control van.
Yeah.
Here too.
Megan, are we
tall.
seeing anything interesting on our side scan sonar?
We're seeing a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
So I guess those are interesting to some people.
If you're a geologist, you are beyond excited.
That's right. Well, and I guess, yes, I guess you would be, except we're not actually seeing them with our eyes. We're just kind of seeing the sound that they make. But one of my favorite Croatian divers for projects that I've been on, we were looking for airplanes in Croatia, and all we found were rocks. And so when we were running our side scan, everything that we came on, and then we put the ROV down on it, he would love to go, rock, rock. So I think every single rock that we see, I've been always just saying in my mind, rock, rock, rock.
Rock, rock. Around the clock.
It's the kind of thing where you look at it so much, it's like you close your eyes and you still see
Yes.
the side scan screen. Like working in an Excel sheet all day, and like you close your eyes and you just see the cells. Speaking from a friend, it's never happened to me.
Data, can you mark down that we're kiting about 40 meters off to the north of our line?
Roger.
So we're lane 5, right?
Yep.
People might not know that the Samoan Clipper flight that they were on that day was labeled A5.
A5.
And that was because this was the 3rd trip. So they'd already made 2 round trips, and this was the 3rd,
Right.
and this was the first leg of the 3rd trip, labeled A5.
Does that mean this is our lucky line?
Yes, right.
Yes.
Just anything to do with
crossed.
5.
How long of a trip would that have
Try
been
to
if
keep it at 15 meters.
on their previous flights? Is that
The flight from Pongo Pongo to Auckland,
Yeah.
they calculated about 12 and a half hours.
Ooh,
They had
That's a long
fuel
one.
for about 14 and a half.
yeah. That's still a long flight.
You always have more fuel than you need. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, long flight.
No movie.
You can see why they wouldn't want to do it with the 4th engine out.
Right.
all the engines were new when they were installed, and none of the engines had reached the max hours of 450 hours before they needed an overhaul.
So this was still a pretty top-shape plane. It's not like it'd been roughed up.
Yeah.
Engine 4 actually had been in for repair, and I'm not quite certain. I think some of the rivets were shorn off and replaced.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
You're not on.
It must have been very loud on that aircraft.
They had quite a bit of soundproofing.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because they did passenger service as well, yeah.
Yeah, no noise canceling headsets back then.
Right. No upgrade to premium economy.
They also had a lot of compartments. There were 9 compartment doors.
So I've heard you refer to it many a time as a flying boat. Is this not considered a seaplane, or is it just interchangeable?
All flying boats are seaplanes.
Okay.
But there are also float planes. So a flying boat actually has a boat hull and wings attached to it, whereas a float plane is a fuselage, an aircraft fuselage up on
Pontoons.
stilts on pontoons.
Pontoons.
And so both of those two types of planes are seaplanes.
So this is, and it's called amphibious because it can go on land.
It can go on land as well.
And water.
Gotcha.
And some of the amphibious planes actually have the wheels for land incorporated inside the fuselage part or the hull part, and they kind of come up into them, and I'm making a motion that nobody can see. So sorry. But some of them also...
Retract?
No, well, actually, yeah, I think that there were a couple of them that retract into the wings, but some of them, you actually had to carry your wheels with you, and then when you get close to harbor, you can put them, like you open your doors, you stick them out, and you sort of lock them onto the sides.
Kind of a dolly.
Yeah. Or they could be kept wherever you're going, and you just, so if you, like in the Navy, they had the Martin PBM-5 Mariner, you would actually keep your wheels in your hangar, go out, get in the water, go out and do your mission, come back, and when you came back, that's when they would wheel out your wheels for you.
So like at a dock or something?
Yeah.
Where you take them or...
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I've been on Alaskan float planes where they have wheels that are on the floats, but they're just kind of in a like retracted stowed position.
Yeah.
And I assume if they have to take them out of the lake for maintenance or whatever, that they just do something at the dock and then pull them
You
out.
have to be sure to get those wheels up before you land, and if you don't, you go upside down.
Ooh.
Happened
Yeah.
to a friend of mine.
Ooh.
That's a bad day.
Ooh. Wow.
There's so much private aviation in Alaska that on the state PBS channel, there's a television program each evening that's an hour long, and it's the weather forecast.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm sure it gets really unpredictable at sometimes, and they're just
Right.
like, we don't know.
Well, there's certain passes that you know. That
Yeah, no, those
Yeah.
bush pilots, like, I could imagine just growing up and, like, getting your license in Alaska and dealing with all that weather. You're just already, like, a level up. Like, I
And
fly in Florida.
I don't know how they
My-
do it, because I'm pretty sure that radios are restricted down in the rest of the U.S. But in Alaska, if you're going backpacking somewhere, it's pretty easy to go and pick up a cheap radio that broadcasts on guard,
Yeah.
because there's so many planes going by. That's your best hope.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that 121.5 or something? 123,
122.0?
something like that.
122.0, I think.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Alaska bush pilot stories is still that one where the bush pilot made a landing somewhere to check something. I forget the circumstances. But then while he was away, a bear actually like ripped up his plane.
Oh, yeah.
What?
And he had to come back and he duct taped it back together in order to take back off. And
I
he was
heard about that.
fine.
Yes, I heard about that.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a great story.
It's insane and a good advertisement for duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Mythbusters do an episode about this one?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel
That
like
would
they
have been
did.
amazing,
Because
actually.
I think I remember them doing something with planes and
Did they
duct
succeed?
tape. I'm not sure off the top of my
Wow.
head. I feel like with duct tape, probably.
I mean, yeah, if you're in the middle of Alaska bush area, what are you going to do? You
Yeah,
gotta-
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
For the noise and vibration, the plane had very thick pads of soundproofing, and the windows were held in place with clincher-type rubber rings to prevent
Oh, yeah.
vibration.
Huh. Did those wear out pretty quickly?
Say again?
I said I feel like those would wear out pretty quickly. With that,
I don't know. These planes were all pretty new.
yeah.
So as I understand it, in this time period, basically the impetus was on being able to expand your transport capability and expand your sort of global reach, especially for the US and the UK. So the S-40 type aircraft, the aircraft that was Sikorsky right before this, was not, it was not able to go as far as this one. And the two Clippers that were developed after this one were able to go further. But I think that what I've read before is that the S-42 was competing at the time with British aircraft and their reach, and the S-42 really blew everybody out of the water, so to speak. And the competition had to really realize the fact that the US was going to make these areas. And I think that the British BOAC, which I can't remember the actual term for, but it was the British Airways Corporation of that time, they actually blocked our routes over to go over to Europe and go through the rest of the world through Europe, because they wanted to have the monopoly over there. And we then had to break the Pacific in order to be able to compete. And the S-42 was key, very, very key in Pan Am being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't long after the S-42, or sorry, the S-42s were gone, that the Martin M130 and the Boeing 314s came out, and were able to easily do this.
It's the British Overseas Airway Corporation.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Yep.
And the thinking at the time was more people lived with proximity to water than to remote inland airfields. When you think of the big metropolitan areas on
Correct.
the west and east coast for transporting mail and cargo and so forth, it's more practical to do it from the water than from airports that hadn't been built yet.
Correct. Yeah, the infrastructure at the time was very maritime in nature. And so why not use the existing port systems, the existing maritime routes? And Pan Am, of course, was very maritime in nature. They kind of built that into their advertising and into their culture, and really capitalized on that.
They talked about shrinking the world. No land is too far.
So were they using like sextants still to like navigate back then?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Crazy. So that's why, I mean, yeah, you need a full-time person to yeah, obviously now we have GPS, but there's a
Yeah.
whole crew of supporting the pilot. That's crazy.
Taking sightings.
I can imagine like doing a sextant on a ship is one thing when you're going like 8 knots, but doing it in a plane going like 200 knots.
With cloud cover.
Oh
out a
my
window.
gosh, like that's impressive.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to use a sextant. It's on my list.
I used one last year briefly. Adrian Round.
Adrian Round.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I don't have my notebook with me. I have
It's really cool.
his diagrams on how.
Is it that
See.
complicated? I mean, I guess it's challenging in different ways with weather. And
I got the
cloud.
concept. That was it.
You line stuff up. And
Have to know the stars.
Right, right.
Summer just did like a bunch of Vogue moves. So
Yes, lining stuff up.
yeah,
Vogue
I think
sextant.
you like tilt your head a little bit.
I
You
think
squint your
A-Train
eyeball.
used the phrase like basic trigonometry, and I think that was the end of the road for me.
You heard trigonometry
and the word
left.
basic together. It's like, oh, good. Thank gosh it's not the complicated trigonometry.
Don't worry, it's just rocket surgery.
Summer, did you know Suna's a pilot?
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
Huh, what do you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to talk to her about
You
that.
should, yeah.
That's
She
cool.
flies.
Did she learn in Turkey?
Believe so.
Cool.
When I first heard that, I was just jaw dropped. Like, what? She's unassuming.
Yeah.
Wait, but now I'm wondering about her sunglasses, because all pilots seem to have same kind of sunglasses.
The aviator.
My sunglasses?
Yeah.
I don't bring the nice stuff out here. I do have a pair of aviators, I'm not
Right.
gonna lie, but I don't bring those out to sea.
They're too expensive.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson once before.
I was in somewhere in Florida, as a matter of fact, with another vessel, Tampa, and bought sacrificial sunglasses at a very, very inexpensive store there, because I figure I'll lose these immediately. And they're still in my PFD.
Wow.
That was like 2012, maybe?
Yeah, I always travel with 2 pairs.
Yeah.
I've lost 1 pair pretty much every time.
On vessels where you can easily get up to the bow and there's dolphins.
Oh yeah.
I always see people look over the side to look at the dolphins, and I think the dolphins come by vessels just to get the sunglasses.
I do see a lot of dolphins wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah, that would be it. The incognito
Yeah.
dolphins.
They walk among us.
I've lost so many pair. I wear them around my neck.
Oh, that's smart. I always like the look of the
Croakies.
functionality of the glasses that are held together at the bridge with magnets.
Oh
Have
yeah,
you seen
they
that? And
fold
when people
up.
go to take them off, they just take them apart and they hang them around
Yeah,
their
it looks
Yeah.
like you're breaking them.
James Bond style.
Yeah, yeah,
I haven't seen those.
yeah.
You don't get the magnet back straight. It looks a little weird.
Oh, I haven't, yeah.
Rainy, how close is Argus approaching the... Oh, never mind. I see it.
What?
I was just wondering how far we were from the, 1 main coordinate, and I see it in front of me.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
You know what? Take the rest of the day off. You've done enough
Right.
here. You've done great work.
20 was our kayak-shaped one, correct?
19.
19.
We have a new viewer from Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's an English teacher there. Thanks for checking us out. Encourage you to apply to
Hello.
our Science Communication Fellowship next year.
I love when, it hasn't happened often, but at times in my work at sea, we've been in or near Spanish-speaking countries or locations, and we've had people on board who are Spanish speakers, and so we'll be able to do some of this talk or interactions in Spanish. There's a ocean engineer named Todd Gregory who speaks pretty good Spanish, and when we were working in, I think that was in Puerto Rico on another boat, he was doing interactions with classes. But it was very funny because he knows just kind of like home familial Spanish. So he would have to just use like, you know, dynamic positioning.
Yeah.
He doesn't know in
Yeah,
Spanish.
no.
You know,
Con DP?
heave compensation. Not in his vernacular or everyday vocabulary.
Now I want to know what dynamic positioning is in Spanish.
You've
Well,
got
here's the thing I
power.
do.
Yes.
I'll always do that, translate it in whatever tool you use from English to Spanish, and then I go back the other way to see if I end up with the same result.
Yeah.
And only if that happens do I feel.
There's a really cool app. I've used Google Translate.
Ooh.
And when you travel in foreign
The
countries,
camera?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can
Oh.
like for menus and stuff, or
yeah.
like you put it on and
you
the
can also
words.
take it out of live mode and get better results.
We were just using that to translate
Cool.
German machinery on this ship.
Posicionamiento
Yeah, it's so awesome.
dinámico. I probably butchered it, but there it is.
Say it again.
Posicionamiento. Posicionamiento. Why is that A in there?
I don't know.
Posicionamiento. Dynamico.
Posicionamiento dinámico.
That's butchering.
Maybe the person from
Yeah.
Argentina can.
We've offended all
say.
Spanish
Oh,
speakers.
no, they're just going to, yeah. Sorry.
Ask Valeria. She's from Ecuador.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sam speaks some Spanish, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
I do as well, but I am very basic.
I always, wherever I travel, you know, if you just learn those, I don't know, was it 10, yes, please, no,
Cerveza?
thank you, yes, good, bad, more or less, whatever. Just take the minimal, bare effort to learn some of that.
Yeah.
It gets you so much more goodwill than, why doesn't anybody here speak English?
So Ed,
Yeah.
what are the basic words in Samoan?
You know what? I've just landed in Samoan. Hold on, and I feel bad because I edited an entire piece in Samoan years ago. I'd have to revert to like, what else do I know that's close to here? Tahitian.
But we're not in Tahiti.
Fijian?
Yeah, and no, Tahitian
Talofa
is
is
very.
hello.
Yeah, Tahitian is very different because it's more guttural, and Samoan's more sing-songy with a lot of high vowels.
It would be Fijian.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fafatai is thank you.
Yeah, I heard them say that.
I have a little cheat sheet.
Vanakavakaleva.
What else is there?
Oh, this is becoming a thing.
Tofa is goodbye.
Pronunciation guide. Fafatai was thank you.
I can tell you thank you in Inupiaq.
What is that language?
Did you work up in Barrow?
I did work. Well, I lived in Alaska for
Yeah,
almost 5 years, so yeah, we did work all over the place.
I
but
worked up on the North Slope
Yeah.
for a project.
Who
up
was
in,
mayor? Do you remember?
No,
No?
can't recall.
Just
Probably
like
a
Kuliak,
Brower.
maybe? No.
We stayed up at the NARL Naval Arctic Research Lab.
Huh, cool.
Pretty far up there.
Was that in June, July?
March actually.
Ugh.
So it was. I got off the plane. It was
Did the
minus
sun
50
come up?
degrees.
Oh
It
man.
was cold. Yeah, the sun was there. We were gaining 20 minutes of daylight
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
get to the point where it's not. Yeah, maybe that's about the extreme.
But we took.
It's an
Yeah,
hour
we were at
every
the-
6 days.
We
I
were
think.
at the peak of the sine curve,
Yeah.
or up the steepest slope of the sine curve. We were on snow machines measuring sea ice thickness.
Oh.
Minus
drilling?
50?
Or
What was
some
that?
sensor.
We had terrestrial laser scanning. We
Yeah.
also had Navy flew over for some
Um,
radar. We had EM penetrating,
yeah.
and then we also did some ground truthing.
Once
a
you
lot.
get to like minus 30, it doesn't get much worse.
Like I don't even know. Like my brain can't even wrap around what that
To be fair, it was minus 50 with wind chill. It was minus 30.
So what do you, like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, minus 30s.
50 is cold. 50 is cold.
When we
Doctor, what
signed
do you
our
think
daughter
about
up for
that
kindergarten
sonar
up there,
signal?
they told us that the kids go outside for recess unless it's colder than 15 below.
Yeah.
Oh,
Minus 50
that's-
felt like
15, 1-5, not
yeah.
5-0.
Yeah, but all of it's terrible sounding.
minus 50 feels like your body goes into panic mode. You're like, I gotta get warm right now.
Yeah, exposed skin,
Immediately.
especially
like-
ears.
Oh, man. Yeah, you can't have any part of your skin
But then
exposed,
we were working
right?
out in probably minus 20.
You can't touch
what we
metal
were-
at that temperature.
The wind was the problem.
Yeah.
But so we had to operate scientific instruments. So I'd have my mitten on, and I'd have to like really quick take it out and like poke some buttons and then go back in.
You have to keep batteries
kept losing
inside
my-
your jacket.
I was for sure I was gonna lose my toes.
Was it
Because it
too
heats,
cold?
like self-heating.
You keep them warm.
Right.
Use your body temperature to keep the batteries warm.
But then you have to leave the
There's some
instruments
drone
outside
batteries that do
because
that
of the
now.
condensation.
yeah, they'll fog up. Eh?
Yeah.
I said there's some drone batteries now for some of the fancier drones that will
Huh.
actually push a button and they'll keep themselves warm.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That was cold.
That sounds miserable.
We, in
No, it's fine.
February in Anchorage, they have a festival called Fur Rendezvous, and they set up a carnival. And so you can ride the Ferris wheel and merry-go-round and all that stuff, and it's always 15, 20 below.
Mm.
They only, like Anchorage, you only get like maybe 20, 25 days a year that are 30 below.
Only.
I would think the
That's not too
oil and
bad.
all the machinery would get sluggish and
So,
freeze.
like our cars had a plug on the front of it, an oil pan heater,
Yeah.
and so you plug your car in overnight. And the
Either that or
few
you just
times
leave
I
it
would
running.
forget. Oh yeah, my buddy Trent
Mm.
left his running. But if you're gonna leave it running, you have to put an hour meter in your vehicle,
Mm.
so you know when to change the oil,
Yeah.
because it doesn't go by miles anymore. Yeah, if I didn't plug the car in, I hated forgetting to do
Yeah.
that.
I watched
In
this,
the morning, it'd just be like, roar,
I watched a documentary about
roar, roar, roar.
planes landing, and since we're on the plane thing, I think they're landing near like Russia or some really remote part, and they like it to get, you know, the flight happens once a month to like get supplies to this remote station, but when the plane lands, like immediately they have to like put all these warming pads around it
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, and like monitor it and keep it heated, because they won't be able, it literally will not be able to start again.
It'll be there for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts to land in Barrow. Now Utkalvik, they renamed it, but to land there, just knowing what would be conditions that you don't land or take off in other airports is kind of
Oh,
day-to-day business there.
Yeah. It's like flying in the Dutch. You have to get out there before they know whether they can land or not.
hmm
You've been to Dutch, right? Was that you?
I've never been there, but I've heard a lot of, I've been involved in flights going there and stuff. Yeah, like flights get canceled all the time because of
Yeah.
the weather, and
Well, they'll go and they'll do 3 attempts and then they go back.
yeah,
Mm.
that is a remote place as well.
This would be a great time to get an aircraft on our side scan.
I'm all for it.
I'm going to will it to happen.
Science team, can we make that happen?
We're on lucky number 5. I'm trying to keep us at 15 meters because the 5.
There you go.
How's the bathymetry been? Is it bouncing around? Looks like we're on a little slow wash to the northwest. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bathy's been pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Slightly upslope.
Trying to think who was on then, 2017. Oh,
So those lines, for
That-
those of you who are watching
Was
our
it
sonar
Kevin
images,
Jerem?
I think
Those
it was
are-
Mia.
those are rocks.
I'll ask her.
When our science team identifies something that is worth investigating as a potential dive target, you'll hear them tell our data intern, Mr. Payton, to start to mark it down. But so many rocks right now, so
Yeah.
many. At least on the left side. Those two images you see with both the yellow, the top line, and the blue, those are both showing relatively the same thing, just in different definitions and different distances.
Argus's camera has been pretty free of rocks for a bit.
Yeah. We have a shipmate who's coming aboard when we come into port, who's from the Sultanate of Oman. And he relayed to me they get temperatures there regularly in the 50s Celsius.
Oh, what's his name?
Suleiman.
Suleiman.
Whoa. That's intense.
Suleiman.
Great guy to sail with.
Yeah.
And wait, where is it again?
Oman.
Oman.
Oh.
Is that kingdom or I think it's Sultanate? Sultanate of
Not
Oman.
sure.
He was on in 2015.
Yeah.
And I did
been out
my
for a long
deliverable, and he did a nice little video vignette for us.
Ah. Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, he was super nice.
Captain.
Captain Suleiman. But 50 degrees. That's like 122, I think,
It was so hot.
Fahrenheit.
Let's find it out. I got a converter.
What do you use to convert
Units plus.
units plus?
That's
Thank you.
excellent.
The Men's World Cup
Temperature.
in 2 years is going to be in Qatar.
50.
Cutter?
Qatar?
100,
Qatar?
yeah.
Qatar?
Dude,
Cutter.
Ed, you nailed it. It's 122.
122?
Nice.
Don't ask me what
Wow.
51 is.
Ed was 51.
And I can also tell you that it's, this is ballpark, but 6,000 meters depth is 8,880 pounds of pressure per square inch. Ish. Just,
How about
does
5,000?
that do that too?
Yeah, dude.
All right,
I got pressure.
I got the
How
much
many?
harder one for
Wait,
you.
how many pounds? Wait, what was the
6,000 meters.
6,000? Oh, wait, no, it doesn't do that. I was trying to think,
Oh.
convert to atmospheres. So, well, 6,000. Hold on.
3
Hold on.
meters
Hold on.
per atmosphere.
So it's 35.
14.7 pounds of pressure per atmosphere.
Right.
And then how many meters is 1 atmosphere?
10.
10.
408. What did I
Plus,
just?
plus
408.
1 for the atmosphere itself. So you want to be absolute.
It's 408.
We deal with precision.
What did you say was pounds per square inch?
14.7. This is all dive master math. Although actually they've moved that to the instructor part of the course now, so dive physics.
Do not dive.
So it would be
14.
601 times 14.7.
Math.
That's an easier way to say it.
So
Yeah.
for our audience member who's asking about how big the Simone Clipper was, a wingspan of 118 feet and 2 inches.
Yep.
And then, how long was it?
Because the previous version, the A versions, were 114 feet and 2 inches.
Yeah, and the wing is 13 feet wide and the plane is 68 feet long.
It's big.
It's a pretty sizable plane.
21 feet, about 5 inches tall.
It's pretty flat bottom right now.
We have some viewers who think our lucky line will be line number 7. We're staking claim to it.
7?
Line 7. Stay
Okay,
on with us
go with
for
that.
So
quite a few more hours and you might find out.
here's the ultimate travel question for your unit conversion. Petrol in the UK was €3.37 per liter. How much is that per gallon?
I don't know. I'm not a wizard.
I'm just making up those numbers. So if you're
Yeah.
a listener in the UK and you're like, that's not what petrol is at all. I think it's pretty close though.
avgas in the States is
Is that before or
some
after
places
Brexit?
it's like $5.
After the VAT?
I said, is that before or after Brexit?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, and that's a totally made-up question because England doesn't use euros.
It was
They
pound.
use pounds and pence. Yeah.
Just be quiet over there for a second, Ed. Confusing everybody. Me, the viewers.
That's why I find math confusing.
Ooh, I got a riddle. Want a riddle?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, I think I
Sure.
told this one last year too. It's pretty good. All right, so you're in a room and it has 3 switches in it. And then there's a long hallway and around the corner is another room with a light in it. So your mission is to figure out, oh, sorry. So you can do the switches. You have to figure out which switch of the 3 turns the light bulb on down the hall and around the corner, and you can't see from there. And you only get to go into the room 1 time to check. So how do you determine which of the 3 switches turns on the light bulb?
I think I have a solution, but I'm going to hold off in case anyone else wants to try.
Can I bring mirrors?
No. No tools allowed.
Is it already light?
You don't know. You
Inside
don't
of
know the
there?
state, right?
You don't know the state that it's in right now, and you don't
Yeah.
know which of the 3 switches controls it.
Wait, you start out not knowing if it's on or off?
Right.
Is it?
No, sorry. It's off. Sorry. You
Oh,
do
so
know
you
the
do
state.
know the
Okay.
The
state.
state of the light bulb is off.
Okay.
Do you know, like, what evil scientist made you do this in the first place? Why?
I don't really care because I always carry a flashlight.
Is it currently dark where you're located?
Or a torch. For
Irrelevant, but
Irrelevant.
sure.
Why don't you just turn them on all at
Uh,
once? In one flip of the switch.
But you
Flip
have to
them all and
determine
then flip
which
one back.
specific one.
Yeah, but then which one?
You
How do
got
you
this,
determine?
Peyton? My money's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So you flip 2 of the switches, see if the light is on or off. If it's off still, that means that the switch you didn't flip is the right one. And if it is on, you flip off one of the switches that you turned on, and that can tell you whether or not.
But you won't
Oh,
get
can you
to
only go
check.
in once?
But then you have a
You only-
50-50
You can only
shot.
see
I
it.
didn't
Yeah.
think you could
Ah.
see. I didn't think you could see.
Yeah,
can only
you
check
can
it
only
one
check
time.
one time to see how to determine which it is.
Mhm. Okay.
Ask some of our viewers. What did they think?
Right.
We're probably going to look it up.
Does
Yeah.
anyone have a son named Scott?
Yes. Someone here does have a son named Scott.
Is Scott saying hello, or does
Scott
he
is
know
saying
which of
hello,
the light
but
switches?
but Scott, what do you
Alright,
think?
We have an assignment for you, Scott.
Yep. Scott, in order to say hi to your mom, you need
must
to
solve
answer
this
us riddle.
He'd be good with that one. Please say hello to Scott.
Hey,
from
Scott.
his mom.
You
Hey,
were
Scott.
saying hello.
Mom
Yeah.
says hi.
Gosh, it's Scott's chance to ask me something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask anything.
Yeah. Trick his
All
mom.
right. Well, we have another family member who's submitted an idea, and you have to touch the bulbs to see what's hot.
There's only one bulb.
Oh
there one?
man, that person Googled it.
Oh,
No,
Good
or
job.
they're really small. All right, smart. Sorry.
good job, Heather.
So the answer,
Of course it's Heather.
correct answer
Oh.
is:
She's awesome.
so you're in the room, you turn one of the light switches on for a minute. you turn it off.
Uh-huh.
You turn the second switch on, and then you go check the room. If the bulb's off and hot, it's the first switch. If it's on, it's the second switch, and if it's cold and off, it's the third switch.
Well, Heather, you have earned
Heather got
yourself
Didn't know you
a
get to touch
Nautilus
the
Gold
bulb.
Star.
I said you could
Right,
go.
that
in-
wasn't-
I said you
Both
could go
doesn't
in the room
exist
and
and
check
isn't worth
it.
any monetary value.
Check.
Heather,
So
did
you
you
can go
Google
into
it
the
or
room
not?
and check.
In my mind, this light bulb was just way out of reach. You know, you
Hold
don't
on.
have a ladder.
Oh, here we
How
go.
old are you?
All
Light
right.
bulbs don't heat up anymore.
Yeah.
They do. They get a
they
little
do.
hot.
Oh,
They get a
LEDs
little
don't.
hot.
No, not at all.
They still sell the light bulbs that heat up in stores.
Yeah, it was
That's still a
incandescent.
thing.
Feel this.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought they actually no, that's not across the globe.
Yeah, it's hot.
Didn't they ban?
I can feel the warmth.
You're gonna stick to that
We,
no matter
we still
what.
have some of those
They
light
only have
bulbs.
surplus for sale.
Yeah,
All right, so Heather, did you know that, or did you have
I
to
can feel a
Google
little
it?
heat.
Yeah, come clean.
Yeah.
It's all right. Your
Uh-oh.
cats will rat you out. They don't tell
The
us.
temperature was a giveaway. She was onto it.
We did have a suggestion to phone a friend and have them flip the switch for you.
Use a lifeline.
No,
Just-
no
just
friends
go down
allowed,
there.
no tools allowed. It's pretty interesting
Leave
because
a
then,
phone in the
like
room.
every time I
recording.
tell it,
FaceTiming your watch.
There you go.
no. Every time I tell it now
I
that I
know
know the
you
answer,
gotta-
I'm like, it's so obvious. But when I first heard it, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's genius.
Oh.
But now you're like never gonna forget that. Outside the box thinking.
When faced with that situation, now we will know.
When
Yes.
you're, yeah,
If we ever get sawed, this is what.
and just hope that they're not those LED lights. They get kind of hot still.
We believe. We believe. So we are on our 5th of our 20 tracks. So we'll be doing this for a few more days, most likely, unless we come up
We
with.
may evaluate our targets and
Yeah.
alter our plans accordingly. You never know.
Our faith is in science, team. Oh man. So the Heather
Yeah.
actually did know this already.
Oh.
Wow.
And she apparently found out when she lost a bet with a 13-year-old about the same riddle.
That's awesome.
That is
He had to have known it. He had to have known it. Heather, don't you feel bad. We did not know it either. 13-year-olds, they can be tricky.
Tricky.
That's at
tricky.
least a thinking question and
Yeah.
not a sucker bet.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's a good one.
Hey Renato,
Yes.
just out of curiosity,
I wonder what
How long
Peyton's answer was
until-
gonna
Hold
be.
on, Summer, I can't.
Sorry.
how long until Argus passes by where we mark 19?
We're close.
An hour,
All right.
40 minutes.
Thanks, Renato.
But we also won't be able to see that.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the track.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, right.
You can call me Renato or Rennie.
So Summer, any more riddles?
I actually do, but I
There
don't know
it
if I
is.
want to put this evil on you guys.
Well,
This one's pretty tough.
Let's hear it.
All right. So you're walking down this path, and you come upon a fork in the road, and there's a house that these two brothers live in. And so one, at the fork, there's one path that leads to happiness and rainbows and sunshine, and the other one leads to death, destruction, whatever. So the keeper of this path are these two brothers that live in the house that are identical twins. Now, one of the twins lies all the time.
Oh, right.
Everything he says is a lie, and the other one tells the truth all the time.
Yeah.
So you come to the door, and you don't know which twin is going to answer, but you've got one question to ask to try to figure out which path it leads to happiness and unicorns. What's the question you ask?
I know the question, but I don't know how to sort it out.
Yeah, I know.
The
this
question
one
would be
too.
like, would your brother tell me that this path is
Yeah.
the right
Yeah.
path?
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. It's what would your brother say?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then I don't have the wherewithal right now.
Just kids all comes in all confident asking, and then he's just gonna give the answer, and you're like, okay. And then you just walk
Still
at one
flip a
at
coin.
random.
This, like, so something
that
similar
was
was
hard.
in the movie
Yeah.
Labyrinth,
Mm.
the David Bowie,
Yeah.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Connelly movie, and she had to figure that out.
Hmm. Yeah, that one was, I mean, out of all the questions, it's like, oh, I don't know. I thought that was tough.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, what would your brother say? So the liar is
Right.
going to say, the bad path because he's going to lie. And then the truth guy is going to say the bad path so you know which one's the bad path.
Right.
Well, just because he lies about everything doesn't necessarily mean he's mean.
Because he's going to lie about what his brother said,
Oh.
and then he's going to say,
So then you know which is the
Yeah.
bad
Yeah,
path.
Yep.
yeah, it takes a minute to like let that marinate. You're like, oh yeah. Go down that road of lie to
Good
truth
thing I
to
don't
lie.
live in a 1400s riddle era.
And they also had incandescent light bulbs in their house.
And they were super hot.
I forgot that
All
part
of
of the
them.
We're
riddle.
going to throw that in next time just so there's no wise ass like me.
If you didn't know which path to take, you had to come inside and solve the light bulb riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, hey, come on in. At the end of that hall.
I only have LED bulbs.
Or nowadays, it's just
All right, somebody throw some rocks overboard so we can at least see something.
Yeah. I should take some of the footage at the petrol shot at the Lexington and play it on the monitor down in the mess so the next watch is
Oh,
like,
gosh.
oh yeah. They come racing up
Yeah,
here.
you would have.
Nope.
So
More
mean.
bud.
Ed is the bad brother.
So a question came in about our sonar, and it was about what type of smallest amount of detail, and that has to do with what we could pick up, has to do with how deep down we are. So the closer we are to that target, the smaller details we'd be able to find. That's why our pilots are doing such a great job of keeping us just above the seafloor, but high enough where we're going to be able to avoid any rocks whenever they appear. And in terms of what we might see of the aircraft, or what's left of it, it kind of depends on quite a few different things. The state of the aircraft, how it landed, the damage it sustained during the supposed explosion that it went through. But we're looking mainly for irregular shapes, more geometric shapes. The blobbies that you might see, as we're incredibly technical, are the rocks that you can occasionally see coming up on the side of sand sonar.
Ooh. I think I've got an airplane riddle.
Ooh.
Oh no, I just gave it away. All right, dang. I'll tell it to you anyway. All right. All right, so there's this cabin.
Airplane.
I have an answer.
There's this cabin that you know is this cabin in the woods, we'll say, and snowed in, and there's enough food, supplies, water, and everything for the people, and everybody died. How'd they die?
It was an
Cabin.
Airplane.
Airplane.
Cabin.
Meh, meh.
You really messed that one up.
Yeah, didn't think that one through.
That was great.
Was there really enough food supplies for everyone? Because they don't have those.
Yeah,
stacks
right. Well,
for
this was
everyone
pre
now.
like terrible airline days. This was when flying was fun, and seats were decent. Give you a little coloring book, the wings.
Light
They don't
bulbs
do
were
that anymore.
hot.
All right, I've successfully found some terrible riddles.
Oh no.
You live in a one-story house made entirely of redwood. What color would your stairs be?
Brown,
I got to vote for brown.
'cause wood's brown.
Wood's brown. Anybody else?
I have an answer,
Or whatever color
but
you
I'm not
painted
going to
it.
ruin it.
Oh.
Let's listen to the beginning part of it.
You have a house.
You
made-
live in a one-story house made entirely of redwood. What color would the stairs be?
There are no stairs.
Yep,
All right.
you got it.
I got you good, huh? You don't like that.
Well, I didn't pay attention in the first part. I was just concentrating on red.
That's like the plane that crashed on the border between two countries, like right on the border. Exactly on the border. And they had to figure out where to bury the survivors. Where do you bury them?
There are no survivors.
No, there are. Huh?
You can put it under the
Wait,
lid if
what?
that helps.
In a
Where do
grave.
you bury the survivors? It crashed
Mhm.
right on the
Don't
border.
bury
You don't bury survivors.
There you go. You gotta listen.
There's a target coming up in the mezzo.
Roger.
So
Hey, we have a rock for somebody.
I do.
I don't know if we'll see that
Huh?
or not.
Oh, on the sonar?
Yeah, we'll see it on
Just
camera.
on the mezzo sonar, the forward facing. And it's a rock.
Ooh.
That's 15 meters per division. Oh, now it's gone. I guess too close to see, huh?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
That
it
one in
is.
the
Camera.
I
corner.
was just trying to do the math on how far we could see.
We know you don't do math.
I know. But I can do red lines. Oh, that's another good smart speaker thing. If you ask it what the value of pi is, especially like right as you're leaving the house, it goes on for about 3 minutes.
Yeah. Wait, what? 3.14, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah. But if you have a smart speaker or something,
Oh,
and
right.
you say the word first, yeah. I've been good. Since I've come back to the boat, I haven't used that power for bad.
I'm sure it won't take too much time.
No. It's too tempting. But those things have no like voice identity. You could just drive around the neighborhood with a megaphone and say, you know, smart speaker keyword.
Yeah.
Open the garage door and vacuum the house.
Yeah, whenever a commercial comes up that
I
says
know.
it, I have it too close to my TV.
I was on hold with our bank before I left the States. And they said, did you know you can check your balance just using your the blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
Just say blah, blah, blah. What's my, and my thing like responded to their, it was on speakerphone.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Hey, that's how you know it works.
It's
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
So here's a question. So if there was a 1 pound rock, how long do you think it might take to sink to reach our 3,000 or so meter depth?
Oh, I think Dan was talking earlier about, what is that, max?
You got this, Dan.
Terminal velocity? Depends on the hydrodynamics of the rock. What shape is it?
We have no information about the shape of said rock.
I'd flip the middle light switch.
It's probably LED bulbs.
But they do get to a maximum terminal velocity pretty quickly, I think. I know, like, when we put a package in the water, like 3,000 meters, that'll take like 45 minutes to get down there. I assume a rock would do about the same. Oh, no, we arrest the descent with floats. Well, we've done Wally once
There's
or
definitely
twice.
some math that could be done.
We've done an instrument without floats before.
Get there real quick. They might even get unpackaged when you get down there.
I don't know if we did that from here. I don't think we did. I think
We didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, was it you guys? Was it us?
The
Yeah.
titanium.
How long did that take to get down? Do you know?
I don't
Wally's had a ride off of several boats.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just leapt right off.
Escape artist.
Can't wait to get to the bottom.
So a question came in about the forward sonar and whether any of that appears in the side scan. I believe so.
Yeah, they should.
If it's far enough to the side.
What if like the return is we're getting it?
Yeah,
if
is there
it's-
anything
if
that
it's
shows up in the side scan sonar and the front return?
Yes, you were correct. If it's far enough to the side, then yes, it will.
Thanks for that
It's
question.
Not in that little,
Yeah.
it wasn't moraine, but something that, what was the term they used for the blind spot in the center?
Nader.
Later.
Thank you. Here comes another demarcation line.
Some interesting looking rocks on the left side of side scan sonar.
It's probably that
little ridge?
like that ridge feature. Yeah, we were seeing.
As it continues off to the side, maybe?
Yeah, it looks exactly like what we're looking at in Argus's screen.
Yeah.
And keep in mind the heave artifacts. You can really see
Yeah.
Yeah.
the wiggles. So that affects when we are looking for a straight edge. We might not necessarily get one.
Right.
So what, do they have software that'll pull that out later, or are we recording our heave, pitch, and roll?
The sonar processing software they have will, I believe, account for some of that. It's not going to be perfect, but it takes a bit of tweaking. It's been a long time since I've processed side scan sonar, so.
But they would process it without, like, yeah, he pitch and roll data. It just kind of like stitches things to the way it like averages or something.
I think it's mainly filtering, and it basically takes. You can see right here the dark transition to the light right there, how it like
Yeah.
it squiggles there. It can use that as a proxy to adjust everything in that line.
Okay.
So to make that straight, it makes everything on that
Oh.
ping straight as well,
Gotcha.
which tends to straighten things out.
Here's a good question about our forward facing and our side scan sonar. Did they by any chance interfere with each other?
They're different frequencies, and we haven't noticed that they're interfering.
Yeah, and the there's two different frequencies on the side scan. That's why there's an upper display and a lower display. I don't know what they are. There's one's high, one's low, of course.
There were other instruments that were interfering. We turned them off.
We had 3 light switches that kept.
Yeah. You didn't use the right bulbs.
Oh yeah, so why would having the lights be on affect the sonar?
That's a great question. It's just one of them. And-
I think it's, yeah, it was only affecting the high frequency, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Just the high frequency one. That's a great question. We don't know the answer.
Not
I
sure.
don't know the answer at least.
Making sound.
Maybe the light itself is making some noise.
The LEDs are driven with pulse width modulation.
Oh.
Depending on their brightness is how fast they're pulsing.
But so it's not a noise thing
It's a noise.
from the signal. Huh.
Yeah, they're notoriously noisy. They've been getting better over the years, but they're...
So Lonnie Scott did get back
depending
to
on
us.
the switching
Oh.
circuit.
But his answer involved quite a bit of demolition in order to